the way, in the same way I reacted when my family said they were going to see it. I'm like, I don't know. I just don't think I can do it. You did do it. This is Josh, by the way, works in the digital department. Go ahead. You can say your exact position if you want to go ahead
I'm
and
the
brag
digital
about that.
producer. I also put together the post on Facebook that you guys read every day when
The
you come and
face
check out Extra Shop.
behind all of that. What did you love, hate about the movie?
Well, I think there was a lot of stuff to love, not so much stuff to hate. I think one of the things that I loved so much about the movie was, you know, beyond the fact that it's like a really scary movie, it's like a mainstream, high-budget scary movie.
Sure.
Is that at the center of the story, there's like a really loving relationship between these friends, these characters that really, I think, as a viewer, you really invest in, and you become really like attached to these characters because you want to see them, you know, overcome this ancient evil that has existed in this town of Derry for, you know, hundreds and hundreds of years.
Now, was it scary? Because, you know, now with scary movies, sometimes they're thrillers where people say, oh my God, it's so scary. And when you go, it was more psychological.
Yeah,
was this like a straight up Texas Chainsaw Massacre style scary movie?
There's a very classic type of storytelling involved in this movie that goes beyond just, you know, this jump scares and, you know, they're trying to get you like with the cheap stuff. Like there's tension that's built throughout the movie, and each of like the sequences that are built to be scary start with very small things, and then through probably like 15 to 20 minutes they build the tension to like a big scary payoff. That,
I have a question.
I loved.
So I'm somebody who does not like to go to the movie theater because I would rather watch things at my own home, especially a scary movie, because I'm embarrassed and I don't want to scream and yelp. So, but is it worth going to a theater? Because I know sometimes a scary movie, the surround sound, being in a dark theater, hearing other people react, is it worth going and spending the money?
That's a really good question. I think, you know, for my money, a scary movie is always going to be scarier in the confines of my own home, where I'm like, I feel like that's my place of security, you know. So when that is like deviated or broken, like that sends me a little scarier. But I think in this case it works in either environment.
And it's at 86% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
so
great!
You know that's good. When it comes to Rotten Tomatoes, they're pretty spot on. It's at 86%.
Yeah, I remember Baywatch. Didn't he say it was like in the teens or something?
It was like -2%.
Listen, so if a scary movie, which usually I don't know, I guess in most recent years, doesn't rank that high in Rotten Tomatoes because it's more about the thrill of it versus the story. When the story teamed up with that thrill comes together, that's awesome. The book, you guys have had a chance to see the book. It's
almost 1,200 pages.
It's about this thick. So that the fact that
weightlift with it.
You could weightlift with it. But I hear that the story is just one part of the book, and at the end it says, and this isn't to ruin anything, but just so you guys know going into it, it says chapter 1, like basically closed.
Well, it was a miniseries, as producer Bill mentioned. So 27, you said, years ago?
27 years. So like the way that the story is crafted is that every 27 years, this monster, it comes to terrorize this little town. So without giving anything away, there's more to be seen, a lot more to the story than what we see in the first one.
We just see them as kids when the book is about adults and looking back on being kids. So it's this whole thing. If you read both, you're gonna go, oh, the movie's barely scratching the surface.
Right. We're just getting started here.
Yeah. So that leads them, Warner Brothers, to say, okay, let's make 17 more of these, 26 more of these.
My brother sat me on his shoulders and made me watch Freddy Krueger when I was like 7.
Sat you on his shoulders.
Go back and watch it now.
7.
Freddy Krueger just doesn't hold up. It's like
when
milk.
You're
it
7,
spoils easily.
That's terrifying.
It's like
having older siblings was always the best with scary movies.
And it was very much that same thing. So, you know, when I first saw the miniseries, I was like 7, anywhere between 7 and 10 years old. So I looked under my bed for like red noses and puffy shirts and balloons for years.
Did anyone go see it in our thread?
Yeah, let us know if you saw it.
Let us know.
It is supposedly going to do very, very well at the box office for some time, like the best summer film, right?
Well, especially coming
for a horror movie.
And coming off of the terrible Labor Day weekend tank at the box office. So I think Guardians of the Galaxy and Beauty and the Beast are the only films that are ahead of it. So if it grosses more, those films have been out now for a long time. So if it grosses more in the coming weeks, it could very well, a horror film, lead the box office in 2017. Crazy.
Yeah.
Stephen King.
Thanks, Josh.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yes. Perfect. Do we have time, Producer Billy, to end with this last topic?